It began with a gunshot. One man pulled a trigger in a quiet European city, and within weeks, the world was at war. But how could the death of one archduke ignite a conflict that consumed continents? This is the story of how pride, fear, and alliances turned a single assassination into the First World War. WW1 Tales presents Why World War I Started. June 28, 1914. Sarajevo. Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the Austro-Hungarian Empire, arrived for a royal visit. His empire was fragile, home to many different peoples, many of them longing for independence. Among them was a young Serbian nationalist named Gavrilo Princip. He believed that killing the Archduke could free his people from Austrian rule. As the Archduke's open car turned onto a narrow street, Princip stepped forward. 2 shots rang out. The Archduke and his wife were dead, and with them, peace in Europe. Austria-Hungary blamed Serbia. Backed by Germany, it sent an ultimatum. A list of demands so harsh, Serbia could never accept them all. Serbia agreed to most, but refused one. Austria declared war. Russia moved to protect Serbia. Germany declared war on Russia, then on France. When Germany invaded neutral Belgium to strike France, Britain joined the fight. Within weeks, almost every major power in Europe was at war. The alliances that were meant to keep peace had dragged them all into destruction. But one assassination didn't cause this alone. The truth ran deeper. Years of rivalry and ambition building beneath the surface. Militarism. Europe had been preparing for war, building weapons and armies. Alliances. Nations were locked together in promises of defense and revenge. Imperialism. Empires competed for colonies and resources across the globe. Nationalism. Each nation believed it was destined to lead, and could not back down. Europe was like a powder keg waiting for a spark. And Sarajevo lit the fuse. In August 1914, millions of young men marched off to war. They believed it would be over by Christmas. Instead, it became a nightmare that lasted 4 long years. Machine guns, gas, tanks and trenches turned Europe into a graveyard. Battles like the Somme and Verdun devoured entire generations. By 1918, more than 16 million people were dead. Nations were broken. Empires fell. And the world would never be the same. In August 1914, millions of young men marched off to war. They believed it would be over by Christmas. Instead, it became a nightmare that lasted 4 long years. Machine guns, gas, tanks and trenches turned Europe into a graveyard. Battles like the Somme and Verdun devoured entire generations. By 1918, more than 16 million people were dead. Nations were broken. Empires fell. And the world would never be the same. This is WW1 Tales, where history speaks through those who lived it. Subscribe to discover more untold stories from the Great War.